the Mom Talk takeover is everywhere.
It's actually bizarre. I can't believe it. Like Dancing with the Stars, Bachelorette, the book. I'm like, this is crazy.
Virtual Reality. Mayci Neeley from Mormon Wives and Told You So. I am so excited to be talking to you twice today.
I know, 2 times.
Well, because you have a lot to say, because you have Told You So out. And it is just so incredible how much of yourself you put into this book.
Yes, there's a lot in there. We're bearing it all.
It's a lot. It's almost, I was like, because you know when someone is like releasing a memoir, I'm like, okay, how deep are we going to go? How was the mental preparation for it?
I didn't prepare.
Okay.
Like there was no preparation. But my husband was like, we should probably get you back in therapy while you read this book. And I was like, yes and no. I don't have time for therapy right now, but we do need to go back.
Did you go back?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you feel like he was on, like, do you think you would want to revisit it after this?
I mean, for sure. I think it would be like useful for me.
Yeah.
I think it's useful for anybody. So I
Yeah.
think it's smart. I think regardless, even just being on the reality show, I'm like, I probably need it for all the crazy stuff that happens.
Very fair.
Just talk through it, you know?
But also kind of like, speaking of like therapy, do you feel the book kind of helped you process things that maybe were locked up for a while?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And like, I think just writing a book is therapeutic. Like, I think it's like healing for me in a way, you know? And that's why it's like, oh, you bury it all. It's like, I feel like I was just writing almost like I would in my diary, right? Like that's just kind of how it is. And it is very like therapeutic and healing for me to do that.
And a large part of the book touches on your time growing up and going to college, and it's where you experience assault.
Yes.
And you also then later on with a different guy, you found out you were pregnant. So you had a lot of life happening at you, but a lot of it you were doing privately. Because of just like the shame of the Mormon, or how you felt ashamed.
Yes, no, 100%. Like I was going through it. I think the hardest part of it was just feeling like I was alone. You know, I felt like very alone through all of it. And so I think that's a big motivation on why I started social media and why I wrote the book, is because I did feel so alone. I was like, I don't think I can relate to anyone. And like people are a lot more vulnerable online now, but especially like someone who was like Mormon, I was like, I don't know anyone like super religious, like who's going through this and like feels the shame and the guilt and all the things. And so that is like a big reason for the book.
And I feel like it's such an added layer, because in the book you talk a lot about BYU's honor code and how you can't even, it's one thing that you'd be afraid to open up to someone because you're like, oh, they might judge me because of our faith. It's another thing like, oh, I can't open up to them because they'll expel me.
Yeah. Like I felt trapped in the moment at BYU because of the fact that they had the honor code, and now they have different policies, which I talk about. Like there's different policies in place now for this exact reason, and luckily like it's a lot more open there. It is like getting more progressive. Like there's obviously still more work to do for sure, but you know, like we'll take it for now.
I know when I was talking to you over at Sirius XM, you said nobody got a heads up about this book. You had your dad and husband read advanced-ish copy.
Yes.
But no one else knows what's in the context of the book.
No, just my dad's the first one to fully read it, I think.
And now I know that he's renamed Dick in the book, the man who assaulted you. Is anybody in your life remotely in touch with him or no?
No.
Okay, so there's like which is kind of a blessing, because you don't need him around your life.
No.
And do you feel like, will your friends and the people that were in your life at that time, though, I'm sure would be able to kind of connect?
Oh yeah, people who know me like well, like they'll know who it is, who I'm talking about, and like people who kind of like grew up around me, I think will know.
And how was it kind of feeling being like, because even when you open up about your relationship with him, how it was he was so controlling, but you almost didn't know it was, because you were young. You were so young, and like you just kind of thought that's what it was.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. And he would tell me all the time, like, you don't know how to be a good girlfriend. Like, you've never been in a serious relationship before, so you don't know how girlfriends are supposed to act. And so I was like, oh, maybe he's right. Like, I don't know. I was like 17 when I met him. So, and then like 18. I dated him till like 18, 19, you know. So I feel like I was just like really manipulated by him to where I like believed what he said, you know. And that's what kind of happens. It's like a trickle effect, and to where like you don't see it when you're in it until it's so obvious. It's like, then it's like, how do I get out? And like, that's like the next step, you know? And
I feel it kind of really relates to a lot of the overarching topics you were discussing with feeling shame for things where you're like, that a lot of your upbringing with, a lot of times like religion in general too, has a lot more shame on the woman.
Oh, for sure.
So do you feel that kind of really played a major factor into that as well?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think like even going through my repentance process with my bishop, I felt like I was the one who had to take like the guilt and the blame for like everything happening. And so then I did put it on myself for a bit until like I grew up and I was like, no, that's not my fault. Like that's not how it's supposed to be. And I think that is why I've become more of like a feminist, I'd say, over the years, like, which isn't as traditional in the Mormon faith, you know, is because of my experiences. Like I live these things. I'm like, this is not fair. You know, like once you really experience certain things like that, it changes your perspective.
And do you feel, because I feel you and a lot of the other girls on Mormon Wives on Hulu, do you feel like they share a lot of thoughts where it's like we are becoming more feminist because we are feeling more in our power and we are having to be able to control our narratives for a change versus just fitting into boxes?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. You said it perfectly.
Oh, I love it. So do you guys feel like, are they good people to lean on for those types of conversations?
Yeah, for sure. I think we can all relate to each other to some extent, especially all growing up in the church. Like some people are ex-Mormon, some people are very active, some people are right in the middle, you know? And so I think it's nice to have the perspective, like we're in the same career. We also kind of grew up with the same Mormon roots. So I feel like it's very nice to relate to, you know, your cast members and friends in that way.
And when you guys, because a lot of you have kids, when you guys talk about raising kids, and so many of you have dealt with things that you dealt with where you're like, I was ashamed to even have a cup of tea, let alone say that I was assaulted by a boyfriend.
Yeah.
How do you guys talk about navigating modern parenting with a Mormon lens?
I think we all have like similar ideas behind it. I don't want to speak for everyone, but like from what I understand, it's like pretty similar. Like just being very open-minded with our kids, being very open, like not having secrets or acting like things are bad, because I think we in the church a lot of times, like even sex is talked about like, oh, it's like just don't do it until you're married, and then it's also when you get married, it's like free game. It's like it's confusing, and so it's like I think talking about it more openly, like it's natural, like it's part of life, like everyone does this, you know. So that's not like some secretive, like naughty, like thing, you know what I mean? Like I feel like we all have similar ideas on like being open about stuff in our past, even being like, I made mistakes, like it's okay to make mistakes, like I want to prevent you from making them, but if you do, like that's okay, like we're gonna work through it, and like I'm here for you, you know.
And I feel, speaking of like feeling support almost in maybe surprising ways, I was really shocked because when the chapter when after you told your family that you were pregnant and you had to, like, your sister made you go have all the conversations at BYU, I was really expecting a different type of chapter.
Me too.
Because you were met with such kindness, such grace. Take me back to, how was that? It was very shocking for you, honestly, right?
Very shocking. I was so scared to talk to BYU because I was like, they're gonna kick me out. They're gonna think I'm the devil. Like I was like so worried. But I was met with such kindness, and like the people that I met with too, like I do like those people. I just was shocked at like how well they treated me. Like Tom Homo, who's the athletic director, he just recently retired there. He like forever impacted my life with like what he said about him saying like, and it's like word for word, like I was like, I made a mistake, and he's like, a baby is never a mistake, and like it changed my life because I was like, you're right. Like I think that was the first time I looked at it, like you didn't, like it's not like I just screwed up. It was like, like I didn't make the best choices and it led to this, but it's not a mistake. Like this was meant to happen. And like I was just met with such kindness from everyone there that like it really changed my perspective, and like it made me want to go back. If it was different, I don't know if I would have. I mean, I may have finished college, but it wouldn't have been there.
That is true. Way. Yeah, no, exactly. That's very true, because that's where I was like, and I was wondering too, and I don't know if you even know the answer. I was like, is it because they were at a college, so they kind of were like, okay, we have these beliefs and standards that we know we're working with a lot of kids like in their late teens, early 20s who are going to have situations like this.
Oh, 100%. I think that's definitely part of it. I think also like 2 of the 3 people I met with, like I did know them, and I'd like see them and say hi around kids. Like I knew them, you know, and I'm not saying that's why they were like lenient with me, but it's like I had a relationship with them too, like where it was always like a good relationship. I wasn't a hard student to work with. Like they weren't like getting complaints about me. Like it's always like, you know, it was always fairly easy, I think. But yeah, I think it's just my perspective on BYU, it has its flaws, but I'm like overall, when people ask me, I'm like, I had a great experience because I was treated well. I loved most of my professors, like, and like overall got a good education, and like had a good experience overall, even though there was some bad parts to it too, you know? And
I am curious, because I know you said that you were thinking of going back into therapy to prepare for, or like while reliving everything in the book, but it's going to be reliving in a new way, which you're no stranger to, doing reality TV, where people then get to watch what you did and then have thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And of course it's like one thing, like online noise can just be noise, but like for people that maybe are like, even people from your college are like, why didn't you tell me? You know what I mean? Are you kind of thinking that there are some people from your life that could be hitting you with questions like that?
Oh, I think no matter what, that's gonna happen naturally, and I feel like when it's from the outside of my family, I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm not worried about it or, like, stressed. I think family, it gets a little more worrisome. But it's also, like, I think it's hard for anyone to understand unless if you lived it, you know? And so I think once I explain that, they'll understand. Because I think my sisters even be like, what? My sister Lauren even's like, I was there with you all the time. Like, why didn't you tell me? Like, usually I would have helped you. Would have been there. I'm like, I understand, but, like, you would have probably told Dad. And then Dad would have, like, maybe go back to home to California, which happened anyways. Yeah. But, like, I just didn't know what to do. Like, I was young and I was trying to navigate it. Like, I didn't know. Like, I was trying my best at the time, you know. I didn't know what I was doing.
What would the you in college going through all that think of you now?
Oh my gosh, like, I would be shocked to see where I am now. Because, like, I literally, like, thought, like, oh, like, my life is over. Like, I wrote about that. Like, I'm done. Like, there's no career for me. There's nothing for me, you know. And then, again, like, that's why I call my son my saving grace, is because he changed my life. Like, I made me more motivated, more driven. Like, I had to use my time so wisely. Being a single mom, like, time was so precious that I learned to use it very wisely, and I became a lot, like, harder worker. I feel like I was coasting for a while in school. I was just, like, not really going to class. I was like, whatever. Like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, you know, marry a rich husband. Like, not sure where that mindset was coming from, but that definitely changed.
I was gonna say, it's like, because I remember, like, two things in the book that would happen. Like, you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to work. You're working nonstop now.
Nonstop.
And B, you were really worried that, like, okay, now after I have this kid, no one will want to, like, you're like, a lot of Mormon men won't want to marry me. And
and I will say I was shocked. Like, I'm like, I had so many guys wanting to date me. No, I don't mean that. I'm not trying to be cocky by any means, but, like, I was shocked at how many guys were, like, didn't care, or, like, were so open to being like, oh. And I was like, I don't know. I think it's just the stereotypes in your head, and then being like, oh, they want, like, the perfect wife or whatever. I just realized, I'm like, if you want that, then I'm not your person.
That's
like,
true. Yeah. And it's a stereotype is one thing, but it's also, like, random things getting instilled into you that, like, maybe are not even based in truth. You know what I mean? Because it's like, people are like, yeah, so what? Like, yeah, and
exactly. Yeah, so I think I was shocked. And weirdly enough, it was always, like, it's not like they were that younger, but it was always the younger boys who, like, wanted to date me as well. I always dated older boys.
Yeah.
I swear, when I became a single mom, they were always, like, at least a year younger, sometimes 2. Once it was 2, I was like,
you're like, no, I'm not being a mom for you.
In college, it's weird. If once you get out of college, it's not as weird to have, like, that.
That's
like,
true.
you know, but, like, I think in college, it's like,
that is very true. And of course, because we have Mormon Wives, you have the new season coming back next month. This book out now. The Mom Talk takeover is everywhere.
It's actually bizarre. I, like, can't believe it. Like, Dancing with the Stars, Bachelorette, the book. I'm like, this is crazy.
And I mean, this is a major bucket list moment. Do you have other things on the bucket list?
I mean, I'm going to have to add some. I don't just yet, because this was it. And now that we're here, I'm like, okay, I'm always looking for, like, what's next, even though I do need to live in this moment. But we'll see. I have a lot of passions, hobbies, so we'll see where we go.
I do love that, because it is such a thing where, like, we all get so caught up in being like, oh, I want to do that and I want to do that. But, like, your book is out.
Yeah.
You have to celebrate.
I'm trying to sit in this moment. Because I'm like, this is, like, my 10-year goal, and it's here. So I'm like, I need to sit in it. I need to be excited with it, and then we'll move on.
You literally told me that you saw in a notes app, like, years ago that you were like, I want to write a book. And
I was like, I'm going to write a book. Like, and I wrote it. I think it was, like, May 2020, like, in my note, like, when I wrote that note. Yeah.
And here we are. Well, congratulations again. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yes.
And everybody go buy Told You So right now, because it really is so good.
Thank you.